Well, well. So, last night brought March Madness to a close in April. So, did you spend your evening eagerly anticipating the big championship game between Michigan and Villanova, and then watched Michigan go down in flames? Or did you kind of ignore it like I did? Well, I honestly kind of caught a little bit online, and we're enjoying something else as opposed to waiting until, what was it, 9:20 Eastern for the championship game to start. I don't know. I can't tell you. I have no clue what you were doing last night. But I do have a clue about something, and that is the Daily Dope is in the air. Howdy, 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 gang. Yes, I am Jeff McAleer. Once again, I am back to be your host here on the Daily Dope. And I also happen to be the Grand Poobah of the GamingGang.com. So welcome aboard. Today is Tuesday, April 3rd. Wow, this is actually episode 76 of the Daily Dope. Time sure is flying by, I have to say. Anyway, today I am going to be doing an unboxing of the expansion for Of Dreams and Shadows from Greenbrier Games, and it is called The Monster Within. And it has some very, very cool artwork. Pretty sweet. And we'll get a bit closer look at this. What it is, it's actually an additional kind of campaign for the core game. Anyway, so we'll be taking a peek at that in just a little bit. Of course, I've got news today, a little more news than I'm used to having, so that's pretty cool. But I do want to point out that today I am only streaming on YouTube. So I wanted to try something a little bit different. I don't get a whole lot of viewers watching on Twitch in the first place. Really never get any comments in chat from Twitch except from sort of oddballs. And I'm not saying everybody who's watching Twitch channels are oddballs. It's just for some strange reason, because the show is called The Daily Dope, for some reason people on Twitch think it's about drugs. Anyway, yeah, I guess I could see where they would get that idea, but still. Anyway, so I'm actually upping the frames, the the amount of data that's being streamed on YouTube, so it should the video should be a little bit sharper. I'm not sure, but because Twitch has pretty much a cap on what I can do if I'm not, one of their partners or whatever. So I just wanted to see something a little different. Wanted to play around with something a little bit different. I might just do YouTube from here on out. As I had mentioned before, there were going to be some changes come April 1st, and this is one. I think I'm just going to try to go with YouTube, maybe add Facebook streaming in the future. Don't know. Anyway, there is chat available through YouTube, and since it's a live show, you can feel free to say hello, or if you have a question, or when we're taking a look at the unboxing, if there's something you want me to take a closer look at, or maybe focus on a little bit more, feel free to chime in. Or if you just want to say howdy, say howdy. I will actually say howdy right back. And gosh, my wrist is bugging me today. I don't know why. Kind of like right here. Pretty strange. All right, so anyway, so let's dive into the news. As I mentioned, I've got a bit of news today. And first off is a new game that's coming from Plaid Hat Games. And it does look kind of interesting overall. And Plaid Hat does some pretty wild designs. And I've actually got the dope. The heavens erupt in the skies above the streets of Byako City. Points of light flash briefly as the warp drives of carrier ships blink into existence. The Nova clan's forces are caught off guard as a swarm of Void fighters launch to overtake the bustling capital city. The airspace siege cannons of the Void carrier hammer away at Nova clan's defenses, and a shadow falls over the city. Masamune has arrived. The gargantuan samurai mech cuts through the enemy forces with ease, obliterating the few remaining Nova clan ships as they attempt to warp away to a neighboring system. Byaku City belongs to the Void clan, for now. Lead your clan to victory in Starship Samurai, an epic fast-paced game of area control fought among the stars of the Lotus Galaxy. Take command of the galaxy's mightiest clans to secure your claim to the Emperor's throne. Explore a world of political intrigue and earth-shattering combat from acclaimed designer Isaac Vega of Dead of Winter and Ashes fame. As the leader of your clan, you will command massive fleets used to seize key locations and battle your enemies. Play battle cards to sway the outcome of each conflict in your favor and destroy your enemy's fleet. But war is not the only path to victory. You will need to spend your resources and political influence to manipulate the lesser clans to aid you in your quest to claim the throne. Each lesser clan you sway to your alliance track will further strengthen your clan's supremacy. Starship Samurai is for 2 to 4 players, ages 14 and up, and will play in about 75 minutes. I do not have an official release date just yet. I am guessing probably late May, early June, and the game will carry an MSRP of $59.95. Does look sort of interesting with these giant sort of Shogun Warrior mechs involved. Yeah, I know. I'm going way back. People are probably sitting there thinking, Shogun Warriors? What in the world is that, Jeff? Yes, I'm dating myself. They were giant mech toys back when I was a small kid. So we're probably talking, I think it was probably around 75-ish that they came out. 74, 75. Anyway, so this does look kind of cool. And I am showing off some images of these samurai mechs. I believe it includes 8 of these samurai mech miniatures, plus miniatures for some of like the big capital ships. Although compared to the samurai mechs, the capital ships are pretty small. So once I know when this is coming out, I will let you know. All right, moving right along. Restoration Games has launched the highly anticipated Kickstarter for Fireball Island, The Curse of Volcar. And here's the dope. When we started Restoration Games, we asked you to tell us which games to bring back. The #1 request by far was Fireball Island. Okay, I don't know, that seems awfully strange, but I would take a guess there was a poll based upon certain games, not any game out there. So, anywho, after more than a year of hard work, we are thrilled to announce Fireball Island is back. Fireball Island, The Curse of Volcar, improves on the art, components, and gameplay of the original. If you loved the game as a child, you'll see we turned that delightful chaos up to the max. If you never played it before, you'll appreciate it as a fun, exciting game for kids, families, and gamers alike. Restoration Games has put together a Kickstarter video. It's about 2.5 minutes long, so why don't we kick on back and take a peek.
Over 30 years in the making, come visit the grand reopening of Fireball Island. You may remember the island's closing in 1986 due to so-called unsafe conditions. We've managed to rebuild it and make it better than ever. The island is bigger than before, with more action and even more adventure. The main attraction is still here, Volcar, and he's meaner than ever. We've cultivated new landscaping, adding much-needed protection from the elements. You and up to 4 other participants will spend your day racing around the island. Grab postcards from scenic vistas across the island. Feel the burn on a leisurely jog through Blister Run. Warm yourself to the bone at Skeleton Head Beach. Dare to marvel at the radiant views from Volcar Point. So many breathtaking photo opportunities. Too easy. We thought so too. Along the way, collect valuable treasure. Be quick about it. The longer you stay on the island, the more enraged Volcar becomes. Don't say we didn't warn you. No, really, this is a legally binding disclaimer. Souvenirs will allow you to maneuver around the island or sabotage your opponents. But watch out for cataclysms, which mean even more fireballs are coming. Your adventure ends when you've collected your postcards and made it back to the helipad. Will your fellow adventurers grab more treasure than you? Or will they fall prey to Volcar's wrath? What are you waiting for? Pledge now to join in the adventure of Fireball Island, the curse of Volcar. What? Oh, still not adventure-y enough for you? Fine. For those looking for a deeper dive into the lost treasures of Fireball Island, sign up for the VIP expansions. Risk ye neck and dare to plunder the wreck of the Crimson Cutlass. Unlock 5th player gameplay and unique player powers you've learned from The Last Adventurer. Test your stamina against island wildlife in Crouching Tiger, Hidden Bees. So pack your bags. Adventure awaits you on Fireball Island. Setting foot on Fireball Island immediately waives all your rights to any lawsuit against Ambercorp by you or any surviving family members. Ambercorp is not responsible for any injuries, such as but not limited to bee stings, viper bites, blisters, burns of any degree, dry throat, sprained anything, broken anything, dismemberment, and or death. Upon leaving Fireball Island, if you should be so lucky, you agree to host, rescue at least one island staff member, effectively freeing them from the curse of Volcar.
Fireball Island, the Curse of Volcar is for 2 to 4 players, ages 7 and up, and plays in approximately 30 to 45 minutes. Right now, the Kickstarter is at about $400,000 on a $250,000 goal. So, the project has funded, just launched this morning, so pretty quick funding there. And you can reserve a copy of the base game as well as the Treasure Trove expansion and all unlocked stretch goals for a $60 pledge. There are also a variety of expansions available, which you saw in the video. You can add on as well to your pledge, and they range from $15 to $40. And the expected delivery of the core game is November of this year. Okay, so I am going to kind of address the elephant in the room as far as Fireball Island. And yes, it looks like it's fun, and it'd be funny, and a little bit of nostalgia for those oddball, like, mid-1980s games. But I gotta be honest, $60? That's... honestly, I think that's ridiculous as far as a price. $60? And keep in mind, the stretch goals are simply cards, and they're the souvenir cards, I want to say. So they'll include a couple more souvenir cards at like $500,000 and so on and so forth. I don't know. I got to be honest. For a game that, I mean, let's be honest here, I can't see people playing a ton of, because this is something, the bloom comes off the rose. You're just simply rolling marbles down these tracks. I don't know. I'm not trying to dissuade people from backing it. I just personally thought $60 is pretty ridiculous as far as the price. Anywho, I've got a few things to say about the news pieces today, and I'm not in a crappy mood either. I'm in a good mood. It's just, I don't know. You know, I gotta be honest with folks. I'm not just here to just spout things out. Anyway, IDW Games has another one of their card games that's arriving, and it is the X-Files Conspiracy Theory. Everything is connected. And here's a bit of the dope. The X-Files Conspiracy Theory, Everything is Connected card game, designed by Matt Fantastic, is available on shelves now. I would assume those shelves would be in gaming stores. After another truly unbelievable case comes to an end, Agent Fox Mulder finds himself in a familiar seat, directly across from his superiors at the FBI. While Agent Scully urged him to tell a story that the panel would accept, Mulder's need to believe is just too great. In the X-Files conspiracy theory, everything is connected. Say that 5 times fast. Players take turns at Fox Mulder as he uses the provided clues. Wait a second, take turns at Fox Mulder? I believe it would be take turns as Fox Mulder, as he uses the provided clues to explain his conspiracy theory to his FBI superiors. But reputation is everything at the FBI, and Mulder's superiors are more interested in voting with the room rather than their gut. Mulder weaves together the conspiracy, and the superiors must deduce the way the rest of the room will vote. Because the only thing worse than being an outlier, I should say, is being a nutcase like Fox Mulder. The game also includes a second game mode based on Jose Chung from one of the most famous episodes of The X-Files, From Outer Space. Other players play as witnesses to a paranormal event, and Jose Chung must look at all the evidence they provide and create a complete narrative that ties all their stories together. The X-Files conspiracy theory, everything is connected, is for 3 to 8 players, ages 16 and up. Not sure where they came up with that. Plays in around 20 to 40 minutes and carries an MSRP of $29.99. All right, so this is the other news piece that I'm sort of like, meh. It's the X-Files. It's going to sell because it's the X-Files. I don't know. This doesn't sound like a very exciting game. But who knows? I don't know. I'm just saying. I just thought I'd share the news with you because I know there's lots of X-File fans out there who may want to give this a try. All right, moving right along. Z-Man Games has announced a retheme and reskin of 2003's Clans, and it will be coming soon. It's called Fae. Here's the dope. Journey across the world of the Fae. The fog parts as the druid slowly walks forward, carefully stepping around the tangled vines. Another druid further down the path pauses to beckon to the druid behind, urging them onward. The slower druid catches up, and the pair step through the trees into the open clearing to join the group of druids, obviously. The druids form a circle, slowly starting to hum. The ritual has begun. In Fae, players will think strategically, guiding druids and moving them across terrain to form larger groups. Once the druids have joined together, wandering the mysterious terrain alone again isn't appealing. Druids already in the same terrain will move together to the new area. When the group is isolated away from any other nearby druids, it is peaceful enough to enact the ritual and award points to the spirits whom they serve. I honestly think that doesn't make a whole lot of sense. Anyway, in Fae, first released as Clans, each player is trying to achieve victory by scoring as many points for their color as they can. This is tricky as each player's color is chosen at random and kept hidden until the end of the game. Each region of the board contains 5 areas, each one of 5 different types. Each area receives 1 hut, each of the 5 different colors. On their turn, a player moves all huts from one area containing less than 7 to an adjacent area, all the while trying to hide which color is theirs. After moving, if one or more areas are completely surrounded by empty areas, they are scored. If all colors are present in a scoring, any colors with only 1 hut present are removed. The Epic track allows a limited number of areas to score before the game ends, and each scoring will either gain a bonus or score nothing, depending on the terrain type in which scoring occurred and how far along the track the game has progressed. Each scoring advances the track, and each section of the track gives different terrain type bonuses and penalties. So, as of right now, there is really not a whole lot of information about Fae as far as pricing, at least not that I found. I did click through on the Z-Man Games website to try to see if I could, where it's like pre-order, and the page was coming back as a 503 error. So I don't know. I have no idea. I'm taking a guess. This is probably for 2 to 4 players, and I'm going to guess it's probably ages 10 and up from what I have seen. So, anyway, all right, finally, I'm always on the lookout to save people money, and of course, I'm always keeping my eyes peeled for cool RPG sales. So I did want to mention that Bundle of Holding has revealed the newest bundle, and it's for Feng Shui 2, the second edition, and here is the dope. She Warrior. Hey, that's different. Usually it's Adventurer. The Dragons have returned with the new Feng Shui 2 bundle, featuring the 2015 second edition tabletop role-playing game of Hong Kong movie action, Feng Shui 2 from Atlas Games. Designed by Robin D. Laws of Cthulhu Confidential, Hillfolk, and Gumshoe fame, Feng Shui 2 hits you with ancient sorcerers, transformed animals, control freak Shaolin, monks, and cyborg apes. Armed with the secrets of Feng Shui, they aim to conquer the past, present, and future. Only you have the guts, guns, and flying feet to stop them. If you missed the triumphant September 2014 Feng Shui 2 Kickstarter campaign, this bargain price collection gives you a new chance to kick butt, blow things up, and save the world. For just $14.95, you get all 4 titles in the starter collection, a $40 retail value, as DRM-free PDF books, including the complete full-color Feng Shui 2nd Edition core book, the introductory scenario Hong Kong Task Force 88, the updated adventure Burning Shaolin Redux, and the 1st edition creature collection Glimpse of the Abyss. If you pay more than the threshold price of $24.98, you'll level up and also get the entire bonus collection with 7 more supplements worth an additional $73, including the 2nd edition Secrets of the Qi War, 5 1st edition faction source books, Blood of the Valiant, Elevator to the Netherworld, Seal of the Wheel, Thorns of the Lotus, and Guerrilla Warfare, as well as a Game Master screen with its 32-page insert book, A Fistful of Fight Scenes. Keep in mind, 10% of your payment after gateway fees will be donated to this offer's designated charity, the National Film Preservation Foundation. Strange. Usually the charities for the bundle of holdings tend to be, like Doctors Without Borders. I'm not saying that we shouldn't be preserving films, but, I don't know. But this is actually a pretty good deal, and Feng Shui is a fairly recent RPG. I should say Feng Shui 2nd Edition. So this looks like this would be pretty cool. And $14.95, that gets you the 4 core books, including the rule book, which I think is about 350 pages. So not too shabby. Pretty cool. All right, so that is the news for today. Move through that pretty quickly. Anywho, before I jump into the unboxing, because that's not going to take too long, this is going to be kind of a shorter show today. I always try to do about an hour, but it's sort of like, what am I going to just sit here and chat for a little bit? No. But I do want to mention that tomorrow is Wargame Wednesday. I'm still trying to figure out what I want to do for Wargame Wednesday. And Thursday, I'm going to do something regarding role-playing games, because that's what I like to do on Thursdays. Kind of up in the air if I'm going to cover one, or I might talk about some upcoming role-playing games that are supposed to hit this year that you might want to keep an eye out for. Don't know. Still up in the air. And then, of course, on Friday, there will not be a show because I will be covering C2E2. So I'll be attending my first convention of the year, of the season. So we'll see how that goes. Anyway, I was going to mention, I believe the crowdfunding project is going to roll out May 1st. I'm still kind of reaching out to some companies see what they might want to do to kind of take part in the Kickstarter to kind of help keep the gaming gang around, as well as, of course, the Daily Dope. Because, of course, I got all these medical bills coming in now, and it's not fun. That's pretty much wiping out any funding that would keep the gaming gang around and continue our 8th year of covering geek culture with a main focus on tabletop gaming. So I'm a little concerned, I guess worried, afraid, I guess maybe that's what I would say about doing a crowdfunding, because I think it would be super embarrassing if it's like, oh yeah, raised $400 in a month. You know, I don't know. I'm a little concerned. Plus, you know, this is the 8th year of the gaming gang, and it's not as if I've ever sat there really going, okay, well, this is our 6th year. It's time for our annual, you know, pledge drive, or it's time for our annual Kickstarter, or anything like that. So unfortunately, I guess for me, most of the people who visit thegaminggang.com, which I pull in over 1 million unique visitors every year, but they're used to just, you know, not shelling out anything, not having to, you know, foot the bill for anything. So I don't know. I'm worried. I'm concerned because I don't want to look like a dope, which is funny because I sit there and the show's called The Daily Dope because, for one, I do come across as a dope sometimes, and I give you the latest, mainly gaming news, which is the dope. But I don't want to look like an idiot, you know? So I don't know. We're going to have to see what happens. All right, so anyway, moving right along, I'm going to take a look at The Monster Within 4 of Dreams and Shadows from Greenbrier Games. As I mentioned before, this is an expansion to of Dreams and Shadows. So I'm going to move over here to the other camera. There we go. And as you can see, this is in shrink. I'm going to do an unboxing. We'll kind of take a peek at it. The Monster Within is a fantasy game. It's a cooperative game, and it's for, if I remember correctly, it's for 1 to 6 players. In fact, I've got the core game over here, which we did. I did an unboxing of. And it's kind of heavy too. Did an unboxing of, and but I have not had an opportunity to play. It's for 2 to 6. For some reason, I was thinking maybe there was some solitaire rules to it, but there are not. So it's for 2 to 6 players. So this expansion, this is a brand new story that kind of builds upon the story from the core game. And in the core game, there are 3 adversaries, 3 big baddies. So you really get 3 tales in the core game. So this is available. I believe this is available right now. I believe this is in stores, and it does carry an MSRP of $24.95. And the expansion is by Gordon Alford, who is also the designer of Dreams and Shadows. So let's pop this on over here. Yeah, let's just take this, take the shrink wrap off before we read the back. That way you're not staring at a bunch of glare. Okay, so it says The Monster Within. Your journey continues as several consequences will lead you down different story paths. Winter has come, blanketing the land in ice and snow. An old foe returns and a godlike enemy threatens to devour all in its path. The Monster Within is a cooperative board game expansion for up to 6 players. Its range is 14 and up and plays in about 90 minutes. So I would take a stab in the dark that this is also going to have a variety of options so that it's not just one conclusion to the story, would be my guess. All right, so hi, it says it's 2 to 4 players, but fully co-op, so it can be played solo. Yeah, usually that is, and that was Nidaloth. Yes, that is normally the case when it's a co-op game and it says it's for, 3 or 2 or more players or 3 or more players. Of course, you can obviously play it solitaire by yourself and just taking on the role of all 3 players. It is for 2 to 6 players, though. In chat, it's they're pointing out it's 2 to 4 players. Actually, it's for 2 to 6. That I do know for a fact. All right, so we got the expansion rule book. Yeah, very, very short. Looks like maybe it's 4 pages. So maybe there's some new additional rules for the expansion. Showing the components, credits. I definitely dig the artwork. The story, game setup, scenario choices, and yes, 1 page of new gameplay rules. All right, pretty simple enough, easily done. And then remember, if you watched the unboxing of Dreams and Shadows, we have all these different creatures that are little standees. So there are standees in the core game. I'm going to take a guess, maybe they're not included in this expansion because you need the core game to play this. So you would just be using these creatures as far as with the standees. All right, so pretty cool artwork. Looks like these are the big bads here because it looks like there's 1 of each. Pretty wild. And then we've got some tokens here, dual-sided, of course. Yeah. And we're gonna have some of the cards. Looks like, oh, do we have some new heroes, or are these gonna be new baddies? All right, let's find out. Let's open these up. Looks like, yeah, those are new heroes, or maybe I'm trying to remember. I don't recall the names for each of the heroes from the core game. As I mentioned, I haven't had a chance to get it to the table yet. Unfortunately, didn't really get any gaming done this past weekend, which stinks, but that's just the way it goes. All right, let's get this last one here. So I haven't played the core game yet, so I can't tell you if these are the original characters who have been able to kind of level up a little bit, or what. Come on, you. What's going on here? Hobby knife isn't catching the plastic, and I don't want to ding these cards. All right, let's try it from this side here. Yeah, sometimes it's a little tough to get some of the shrink wrap off some cards. Sometimes they're just so vacuum packed. Okay, so first of all, let's take a peek at the heroes. So we've got an experienced champion here. There's Freya. Yeah, you know what? I could have swore that Freya is one of the characters in the core game. I might be wrong. Nora. Yeah, I could have swore that she's one of the characters too. I'm not positive. Find out. We've got Natasha. We've got Tamlin. Celine. We got time. You know what? I'm going to crack open the core game here, and I'm going to take a quick peek. All right, come on. Anyway, see, as I mentioned, it is for 2 to 6 players. There's a rule book. Here's the adventure book. Got all of these. Let's see what we've got. Where are the big hero cards? Come on. No, that's small deck. Small. The different regions. Yep. Same characters. Same characters. Yep. There's Nora. Tamlin. Yeah, so they're just champions in this. So they've kind of leveled up, I think, because it's saying they're experienced champions on these new cards. There we go. All right. Back to our scheduled programming. So, yes. Okay, so we're seeing it does say experienced champion. Experienced champion. They do sort of have kind of a darker look to them, though. They don't look as, well, not to say they looked happy-go-lucky in the core game, but they do look like they've seen some action. There we go, Braum. I remember the Braum character. Very nice. Just single-sided. And there are 8 characters, if I remember right. 4, yep, there are 8. So at least there's some variety in the characters, too. So that if you are playing with a full 6-player complement, then you still have some options of who you get to play. It's not as if, well, there's only 6 characters, so there you go. All right, so we've got that. Then we've got, these are kind of, if I remember correctly, from just kind of paging through real quick in the other unboxing, these are sort of like scenes or scenarios, almost scenes within the game. The Wounded Heart, What Remains, Envy, Judgment, Lost Boys, The Vessel, Sins of the Past, and then they'll have, there's the story endings, which we are not going to take a peek at because I'm not going to spoil anything. So we've got, all these share the same backing. And then you've got the Wendigo. So I believe the Wendigo is the big baddie in this adventure. So that's no spoiler because it's right there. Sorry. There you go. And then I want to say, okay, so these are the different area cards. And it looks like it's all forest? No. Okay. It's got forest. And this is like, if I remember right, there's like farmland. And then there's like the empire, so like cities. And then once again, it's more along the lines of kind of create your own adventure vibe to it. So we've got a feast, break and enter, remembrance. There's a 1 and a 2 on each of these. Huh. I wonder if some of that has to do with how you completed the adventure in the core game. Because I thought there's some carryover. The Trial, Solace, A Killer's Trial. Cool. Not going to take a look at all of those. So we've got those, and then we've got about the same number, which are kind of wilderness encounters. Gluttony. The White Wolf. Oh, look, it's Elric. Yeah, that's a reference I'm sure some people aren't going to get. Anywho, moving right along. So we've got, oh, what, he's stuck together? Yep, they are stuck together. Come on. Oh, they are really stuck together. These are like fresh off the printer. Stuck together. Okay, yeah. Kind of like stuck together in clumps. Kind of interesting. Alright, that's good, that's good. I am really looking forward to playing the core game, and of course, playing the expansion too. The gang really digs Greenbrier game titles, so big fans of Apocalypse 2. They dig that one quite a lot. Played a little bit of Vengeance with some of the gang. I personally liked the game, and a couple of the gang weren't super keen on it, and I kind of understand why. So that was pretty cool. But yep, definitely digs Apocalypse 2, Defend the Burbs, and then the expansion Wasteland. So we've got some of the creatures here. So that's going to show us some of these new monsters. The Skinwalker. Ooh. And then we've got, looks like some curses. Jeez, come on. Is that 2 cards stuck together here? Just one. Can't really tell. Yeah, I guess it's just the one. That's kind of too bad, too, because being stuck together as I pull them apart, look at that. That's not cool. That's not good. Alright, well, whatever. Gonna have to sleeve these anyway. Then we've got these locations here, too. So, we got that. Let's see what else. See, look at this. That is not good. Right there. That chipping right on the edge of the card. Right there. That is definitely uncool. So, yeah, certainly you would need to have to, in this situation, like I said, I have not played. Yay, there we go. Well, yeah. Eric of Melnabane. No, it's Elric, but you knew what you were trying to say. You just mistyped it. Yep, the White Wolf. So yeah, that kind of sucks. But yeah, so seeing I haven't played the game yet, I'm not sure. I assume with these backings that these are all random. So that means you would actually have to sleeve these with a backing to cover that up, because obviously you can realize which card is the one. You know, some of them don't have that chipping that pulled it apart. Wow, that is uncool. That's gonna get a ding in the review, I got to admit. You know, when you got to separate the cards and it's you know, creating the chipping off the edge of the card. Now the rest of them are okay, but because those cards were stuck together. Let's see if there was some chipping on these. You know, and these are the monsters, so I don't really think that these are. I'm not sure if these are randomized in the game. I think because of the different encounters that you have, that determines which one of these monster cards come out. So I would not think that you're drawing these randomly. All right, so pretty cool. So we've got the curses here. Yeah, see, that's just. I mean, they're all the same card. It's not that big a deal, but that just looks really ugly. Look at that. And that is not glare coming off the side. That's right there, right there, right there. That is a production issue, folks. And I'll tell you right now, I'm not one of these people who, damned corrector. Yes, it's Elric. I'm just kidding. You knew. That's why I said you knew who you were, you know, saying. Just mistyped it. You know, I'm not one of these people who freaks out, because you gotta keep in mind. I mean, this is a review copy, so. I'm not going to be like, oh my goodness, oh, crazy. Because, you know, it's not, cash isn't coming out of my pocket. So I'm much more forgiving. But I can tell you right now, for people who purchase the expansion, if this happens to their cards too, they are not going to be happy. They are going to be very upset. So, because you know how gamers are. I mean, gamers can be really nitpicky about stuff, and like I said, it's all the same thing. It all says possessed, but if you're shuffling these into the other deck from the core game, yeah, once again, you're gonna tell right away. Oh, look at the edge, all that's chipped now. So you'll be like, yeah, that's a curse, or possessed, I should say. All right, so we got that. We got the baddies. We've got, these are skills. There's going to be skills and I think equipment too. So we've got Faint, Familiar, White Wolf's Pelt, Dispel. These are some spells here. Cloud Mind, Dream. Once again, I'm not sure if these are actually random. Did I have the same problem with the original game is the question. No. When I went through the cards in the original game, and I'll be more than happy to grab it and show it off again a little bit. No, there was none of that sticking together. So like I said, that's just a production issue. And then we've got Obscure, Gateway, Call the Storm. So once again, I don't think these cards are necessarily random. I think these are just because a lot of times with Greenbrier game titles, they'll have like skills or equipment and things like that, and it's one big deck, but you actually go through the deck to go find it. Folklore of the Affliction is one that I recall, where sometimes you'd have random stuff, and then other times you would actually have to search through the deck to find a particular thing. So for an example, we saw the White Wolf's Pelt. Obviously, when you kill the White Wolf, you get the pelt. I highly doubt that's just some random thing. All right, so we've got the various different cards there. We've got the larger cards. So we've got the story endings. We've got the new, more experienced heroes. We've got the big baddie. Oops. We've got the different encounters. The wilderness encounters. And then I think these are like major turning points in the story. So, cool deal. All right, so we've got those. Then, of course, we've got the sheet of standees, as well as the tokens down here. The all of, what, 5 pages? 7? Well, 7 pages of the expansion rulebook. And that is what we find when we take everything from Of Dreams and Shadows, The Monster Within, outside the box. No, it did not look like there were new weapons and armor. There were some new items. Did see some new spells, some new abilities. I think there may have only been like one new armor. I'm taking a guess, maybe that the hide of the White Wolf. So here, I'll pull out the original game, and I'm not going to go through a ton of stuff, but I'll show you how I did not run across the cards being stuck together. So here. So these are like curses or whatever. See, there's no chipping. There was nothing there. See, they're just real smooth. They're all separate. They weren't clumped together. And I showed off quite a few different cards when I did the unboxing. So no, there is none of that. Although, of course, games that you're going to play quite often, you're going to want to sleeve the cards, at least the standard card size cards. But, when you start looking at like that chipping that was on the side of the other cards, it's kind of like, well, now you got to get you can't just use a clear sleeve. You're going to have to get some sort of a backing on that, and that's going to look odd. So, I don't know. I would say I should have a review for Of Dreams and Shadows, the core game, sometime next week. So, because this weekend I am covering C2E2, but I'm only really covering it Friday and then Saturday afternoon. So, anyway, so that is Of Dreams and Shadows, The Monster Within. As I mentioned before, I do believe it is in stores. I'm pretty positive you can order it from Greenbrier Games website as well. Some online retailers I know have it. So, and it does carry an MSRP of $24.95. Obviously enough, you're going to be able to find that a little less at some of the online retailers. Okay, so that is it for today's show. Like I said, a little bit shorter than usual. I don't want to just sit here and do filler, singing and dancing. Oh, singing and dancing. Yeah, telling jokes. Nah. Anyway, when you're not watching The Daily Dope, be sure to visit thegaminggang.com for all the latest in gaming news, reviews, comics, movies, TV. Come on, by now you know the drill. Get your geek on at thegaminggang.com. Once again, I'm Jeff McAleer. I will be back tomorrow with Wargame Wednesday and have absolutely no clue what I'm going to do for Wargame Wednesday yet. So keep your eyes peeled on the Twitter feed because I will share that probably tonight. But as I said, I will be back. Until then, enjoy the rest of your Tuesday, and thank you very much for watching.